Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, I'm here in my workspace. I don't think I shoot around in here very often, but we have here a very important device that you want to talk about, and that is the Realme GT5 Pro that I've been using for close to a month now. Alright, and whenever we think about Realme, we think about the budget or mid-range devices that they have been entering into our markets. But for today's video, I really want to emphasize on this guy here because this is the reason why I think Realme can still make some awesome flagship devices. It's got everything, the perfect elements to make it one of the best flagships that you can buy today. So what I'm going to do is we're going to head over to the desk, get a bit more up close and personal with the device itself, and by the end of the video, please let me know your thoughts on whether you think you want to see this device in the global markets. For me, it's a definite yes, but without further ado, let's head over to the desk and find out more about this flagship here. Let's go. Alright guys, so now that we are at the desk, let's take a closer look at the GT5 Pro. Now, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I think this is a solid flagship and Realme should definitely bring it to the global markets. Let's start off with the design. Now check out the design guys. I think this is a very nice colorway. It's not too orange to the point where it's super flashy and it stands out so much. I like that it's kind of understated. This is a vegan leather kind of back panel and it feels fantastic. We also have a kind of like patterns going on with the camera lens at the back. Let me just bring it up closer so you can see. There's those little tiny patterns that is supposed to look like a expensive watch, I think. But overall, holding it as well is very substantial, so you definitely feel like you're holding something expensive. So design-wise, definitely a good point in my books. Now moving on to the second point on why I think this is a proper flagship, and that's definitely in terms of the cameras at the back. Now again, we're going to zoom in a bit closer. Over here, we notice that we have here a triple camera setup. This guy is just, I think, like a LiDAR or something like that, but the main ones are the 3 camera sensors. We have a main sensor, an ultra-wide, and a telephoto lens that does 2.7 times optical zoom. Now, just in terms of pictures, I don't want to go into the numbers of megapixels and all that, but just in terms of the pictures, I took a lot of photos guys, I think more than 100 photos, and I was actually quite impressed with the kind of photos that the Realme GT5 Pro here managed to capture. Check this out, all those photos. So just in terms of the zoomed images, let me just show you a very quick one. So this is actually being shot at 1 times. If you go on further, we have that 3 times zoom, and again, you can already see that we have here a lot of detail if we just zoom in a bit further. Obviously, you can go even further, so this is an even more close-up look of the building, which again is very far. I think the phone itself is doing some pretty good processing. Once you hit like 10 times, which is sort of like digital zoom, the phone itself will help you to make the picture look a bit more detailed. There's no over sharpening going on here, and everything looks very realistic, so I'm very happy with the kind of telephoto lens that we have on the GT5 Pro. Now I did try out night mode as well. I didn't take a lot of photos, but you can see that the night photo was actually very clean. What I noticed was that if you shoot in that like 3 times zoom or 6 times, you see that the background is actually kind of blurred. So we got that very natural background bokeh going on with the camera, and I think that's great for the GT5 Pro. Alright, let's move on to the third point on why I think this is actually flagship worthy, and that's of course in terms of the display. Now this is definitely one of the best, if not the best display that Realme has ever fitted onto any of their smartphones. So let me just give you the specs right away because this is really down to the specs. In terms of the refresh rate guys, we have here 144Hz, so it doesn't matter if you're just browsing your social media, if you're playing games, everything is going to be super smooth. Now the second thing you need to know here is that this is an LTPO AMOLED display. That means that it's going to be more battery efficient. It's going to be like reducing the refresh rate whenever you're not using it. So LTPO AMOLED, definitely one of the best again. Now the third point here is all in terms of that resolution guys. The resolution is super high res. We have here a pixel density of like 450 ppi. That's super sharp, and if you're just going to be browsing your photos and all that, you will be able to see a super sharp image. Now the fifth point here, is it the fifth or the fourth? We actually have a Pro XDR display. That means you can actually try and look it with or without the XDR mode activated. Again, pretty cool. And the most important one that I would think about this display is in terms of the brightness levels. Now this goes all the way up to 4500 nits, and I've been using this phone as my GPS. Never at one point did I felt that the display wasn't bright enough. I was shooting outdoors a lot as well, and I think 4500 nits, it's super bright even in the brightest of conditions. So definitely loving the display here. I think this is one of the best displays on even any smartphone for that matter. Very good stuff there on the GT5 Pro. Now moving on to the fourth point of why I think this is a super solid flagship, and that's because of the processor it's using. This comes with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, super powerful. In terms of RAM, you get up to 16GB, in terms of storage up to 1TB, so you can expect the best of the best in terms of performance when it comes to a smartphone. If you're going to be gaming, you even have the GT mode, which you can turn on right here. There's a switch button, so you can actually enjoy your games with even higher performance. But Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, 16GB of RAM, I think no question asked, this is going to be a super solid performer. Last but not least, the battery life itself is 5000 mAh, but what's cool is the charging. We have here a 100-watt fast charge, not the fastest in entire Realme's range. It does like 50% in 12 minutes, but more importantly, it also comes with wireless charging. So this is one of those rare phones from Realme that actually supports wireless charging as well. So overall, those are the 5 points on why I think this is a solid flagship. Definitely, Realme should bring this into the Malaysian or global market. If you just put a side by side with other flagships, I think the Realme definitely holds it up. And if you just want to bring in the current latest flagship, we have here the Galaxy S24 Ultra. In this case, I really think that the Realme itself is providing like a super strong package to fight with even the best of the best, the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Very strong device from Realme. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Let me know if you want to have this phone in your country or in Malaysia, of course. Please let us know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.